2022 was South Africa's worst year of power cuts on record, and it doesn't look like 2023 will be any better. Not even 2 weeks into the new year, and we've already spent over 200 hours in darkness. It's with this in mind that Parliament's Public Enterprises Committee is calling for a meeting with Eskom. The committee wants the ailing power utility to appear before Parliament to give an update on the current situation and, more importantly, an outlook for the year ahead. For more on this, I'm joined by the committee chair, Khaya Magaxa. Thank you so much for your time, Khaya. We do appreciate it. Let's start off with why you think it's so important for you as the Parliament's Public Enterprises Committee to engage with Eskom. Obviously, it's because of the dire situation with rolling blackouts, but do you think there'll be any difference?
Well, it's not a question of predicting the situation, whether there will be a difference or not. But I think as the legislative arm of the state, whose responsibility is to play an oversight role, therefore it becomes very important as members of the Portfolio Committee for Public Enterprise, since Eskom falls under our jurisdiction, to be in the same wavelength in terms of understanding the developments that are taking place in the country, particularly around the supply of electricity. The situation as it stands now, of course, is not making us to relax because we went through a festive that had a very serious load shedding. Therefore, we are concerned about our economy. We are concerned about the manner in which this load shedding affects our communities. That's why we are standing up in order to get an update from Eskom board and management, including our shareholder, to put us on the same wavelength in terms of what is that they are in place to sort of reverse the situation or improve the situation as it is now.
Are you going to be putting any pressure on the Department of Public Enterprises? And I ask you this in the context of South Africans becoming increasingly frustrated with the department's role in all of this, saying that there has been a lack of accountability. And with the recent remarks made by Andre de Ruyter, who is going to be leaving the power utility at the end of March this year, that it became an untenable environment to work in. What do you want the department to say to you? What do you want them to answer to you? Because there's been frustration that they have not been fixing the power utility, and they, as the stakeholder, should possibly be getting more involved.
You see, putting pressure on the executive, including Eskom management and board, is our key responsibility as members of parliament. If we are not doing that, if we can't put that pressure when a crisis such as this happens, it means there is no role for Parliament. Therefore, our responsibility is to put that pressure on them. We would like to know as to what it is that continuing to reverse the progress that at some point we see towards resolving the problem. We'd like to know what are these problems. Of course, we hear about corrupt elements that are sabotaging at Eskom. Of course, we know for a fact that there are diesel that are stolen there and there. There are problems around diesel. We know for a fact that certain elements at Eskom wouldn't like us to resolve this problem. But what it is, because we have been having that problem for quite some time, what it is now that we are trying to put in place to reverse that kind of a situation. And that's what we want to put on those. Of course, we know for a fact that is expert who said we are not going to be in a position to resolve this electricity quagmire maybe in 2023. But we would love as a committee to reduce the stages, at least to 1 or 2, so that people can be in a position to function and companies can operate without this disturbance of load shedding.
And it almost seems as though we've just been told as South Africans to accept the fact that this is, our reality. It's been 15 years on. South Africans have been subjected to the worst kind of rolling blackouts in the last year or so, with 2022 being the worst, especially August and September. What are your thoughts and concerns when it comes to the resignation of Andre de Ruyter? Do you think that a new CEO could assist in turning the power utility around, or do you think the problems are far deeper than that?
Well, we were always having some ill feelings about his performance. Therefore, to us, seeing him leaving as a committee, we think that it's not a bad move, and we hope also that the shareholder together with the board are capable enough to recruit a capable person who can improve the situation as it is now. We don't think that the problem at Eskom is above above all of us. I think they are capable people who can reduce this problem and who can improve the situation at Eskom.
When are you planning or hoping that Public Enterprises meets or Eskom meets with you? When are you hoping that this happens?
Well, I'm also having a pressure from the people that I'm leading, particularly the whip of our committee, that as soon as possible, as early as next week, we must have this committee, even if it means we travel to Eskom offices. But the secretary of the committee is busy trying to work towards that, and also the chair of chairs to give us that go-ahead.
Okay, well, we wish you all the best. I think a lot of South Africans are relying also on you to put pressure and try and get some answers, because this is just really, it's going on for far too long. But thank you for your insights, and we wish you all the best with that meeting. That was Parliament's Public Enterprises Committee Chair, Khaya Magaxa.